What's up, traders? So it's Sunday morning here. We got the weekly outlook video. It's earlier than when I usually do this, but I'm about to go to yoga class and got a bunch of stuff I want to roll out for the day. So banging it out. And this week we have the Jackson Hole Symposium. So they have this about every autumn in Jackson Hole. And what is the Jackson Hole Symposium? Well, it's only a meeting of the most elite bankers and maybe it's a conspiracy, maybe it's not, but it's a real thing. And it's where all the heads of the central bank meet up in Jackson Hole every year and basically decide the fate for monetary policy for the upcoming year. So, they did such a great job last year, but maybe you can sense my sarcasm there. But so we'll see how that goes. Now, typically that's going to have a massive result on the dollar, on the euro, but in a big way, the dollar. And, surprisingly enough, I was thinking we might move into some dollar weakness since the Fed already kind of got out of its, some of its hawkishness, so to say, in terms of interest rates. And when I say hawkishness, I mean the desire to continue to raise rates. But, we saw a very strong dollar last week. And also, we caught some really good trades here on at the end of the week, NZD Swiss. Let's see, our entry on NZD Swiss was right here. I think this was saved on a different tab of mine. Here it is up top, I believe. And so, this was really highlighting, I would say, some more risk off specific market sentiment, right? So we weren't quite at our 120 pip take profit, but this is where our entry right at this cross in the old momentum there. And so if we take a look at the dollar index, man, it just went in beast mode. And so this is the area that we were at, and I did a video on Wednesday about before the FOMC meeting minutes. That was like, okay, now if we break this resistance, or in other words, on Euro USD, if we break the support, we're going back to parity, which by parity, I mean that the euro and the dollar will be 1-to-1. It'd be like, hey, I'll give you $1, you give me a euro, and they are worth essentially exactly the same thing. So typically the euro carries a little more weight than the dollar, but not right now. And also too, man, I mean, looks like the pound, I don't know if this is going to happen, but looks like the pound is headed that way too, which would be nuts. So we'll see if this trend continues, but the next stop for the pound is 1.14. We're testing 1.18 now. And if this dollar strength continues, interestingly enough, this is, very bullish for the dollar. There's no other way to say it. So here's a great setup here that we took in the accelerator on NZD-USD. And, this is the big thing to look for in my mind. Is this trend going to continue? So the indices had a bit of a recovery, but it looks like we're coming into leg 2 of the downtrend. And if you can take a look, and this is the S&P 500, we've broken down out of a channel here. Here's a channel, and we've broken down out of it. So look out below. It's looking bearish for these indices. So now if it's looking bearish for the indices, then this is going to create more of a risk off type scenario, which is going to mean continued strength for the dollar and potentially for these yen pairs. So, we were kind of going sideways. Let me just pull one up here. This is EJ at a pretty interesting level right now. Very similar scenario kind of to NJ last week, where we're ranging going sideways, but it looks like we're about to fall. So if this is the case, I'm going to be looking to capitalize this. Now, CAD, we saw some significant strength out of CAD last week. But so that's why CAD yen is moving higher. But we can take a look at AJ. Started to break off at the end of the week with New Zealand yen. So going to be looking for the yen pairs to follow suit with the dollar. So maybe we get a bounce in dollar strength, and then that's going to be the time for the yen to come in with some strength behind that. So we got a lot of data too early in the week with the euro, with the pound, but I believe the euro out of all of them. And we have GDP on Wednesday, just remembering us off the top of my head, GDP on Wednesday, and also this, obviously, the Jackson Hole Symposium, which I already mentioned, that's on, well, pretty much starting at the end of the week. And with Chairman Powell testifying or giving a speech with the grand finale for the Fed and Jerome Powell on Friday. I hope you can detect my sarcasm here, because ultimately, all this economic trouble that's going on right now is literally a direct result of printing money, poor monetary policy, which created inflation, and which is just the jet fuel for all these other economic problems. Just go to the grocery store and you can thank the Federal Reserve and the politicians who thought it was a good idea to do that. So I'm not a fan, but literally this is the playground that we're playing in. And as Forex traders, we can play it both ways, especially if you understand the correlations that I just went through now. So have an awesome Sunday, everybody. We're going to be trading live this week in the Accelerator group. If you want to learn and be mentored by me and get some support, get the actual things that you need to make it happen. And we will fund you, by the way, with our prop firm. And it's dropping. The website's ready. It's dope. It's dropping this week, so anybody can purchase. But if you want that, if you maybe tried a ton of challenges before, and by a ton, I mean like 3, 4, 5, you keep doing them, you're having some success, and then you fail, and you want some support so you could get out of this losing cycle, then we will help you do that. So if that interests you, click the link below. Let's have an awesome week, everybody. Peace.